Now, you are believers, and the Bible says, not Alan, but I do say because it's part of me now, the just shall live by faith. That's how you live. How does faith come? We're not Methodists, we're not Baptists, we're not Pentecostal. We are Pentecostal, but we're not Pentecostal as far as Church of God and whatever. We are lovers of God. We love His Word. The Bible says, in the beginning was the Word. So I love all my brothers that try and figure out what happened in the beginning. It was the Word. Well, I think there was an explosion and, I'll tell you what. Let's take this Rolex watch and just put it in a can and put an M80 with it and light it and explode it. Let's see how long it would take to find this thing. See, well, there's eons and eons and eons. Well, it didn't happen that way. Just, you know that, in the beginning, God. Now, let me ask you a question. If God in the beginning said light be and light was, light energy, it just keeps on going. So when David said in Psalms, the Lord is your shepherd, you shall not what? Now, all you got to do is go to Psalm 23 real quick. Psalm 23. Let me get this real quick. He said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Well, the first thing I look at is he your shepherd? Now, if you don't know what shepherd means, I didn't either a long time ago, but I looked in the book. If he's your shepherd and you're still wanting, is he your shepherd? I'm saying, they're real nice today. So let's look at this just for a second and think about it for a minute. Religion is a moral agency, but believers believe God and they're spiritual. So religious people have set of beliefs and they are moral. We're not talking about moral, we're talking about spiritual. Something spiritual. So David said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not. Well, the Greek word right there means lack. So if you're lacking anything today, check and see if he's your shepherd. In that area. See, I've learned always like to hold things back, and you might not learn that, but I did. Jesus, now I preached a little bit on Wednesday night about three things. Jesus, when the disciples, and we'll get to Psalm 23 in a second. When the disciples were with Jesus and he fed the 5,000, you remember the story? How many baskets did he take up? When he fed the 4,000, how many baskets? 7. So here Jesus is with all these disciples again, and they're with him, and they all say the same thing. It's amazing. There's 3 different areas in the book that says, the first thing that said, Jesus said, listen, have all the people sit down, and one Greek translation says, not again. As long as you're walking and talking, you will have temptation. They didn't hear me over here. I'm going to go over here. As long as you're a born-again believer, you will have temptation. She talked about it this morning. Now, nobody ever told me this, that as soon as I got born again, I wouldn't have no temptation. But Jesus said, why is it that you're so fearful? He asked his disciples that. Jesus said, everybody sit down. So there was 20,000 people on the hillside. And one of the disciples looked at him and said, in the Greek, if you looked up, "Oh, no, not again." You mean we're going to have to go through this miracle again? Has anybody ever heard two phrases? One first phrase is, the devil's in the details. So if you miss some of the details, would you not want somebody to go over it again? That's what Jesus done to him. He said, listen, everybody sit down. And then he asked a question. He said, how come you're so fearful? Why don't you have any faith? So in that statement alone, I see that fear can replace faith. Tell me about that little hinds feet thing before I get going. Has anybody ever heard this one time? And listen to me. If you can't understand me, listen anyway.
Yeah, that's it. I gotta find it first.
It says something about hinds feet.
Psalm 18, verse 33 in the Amplified Bible, if you can put that up there. He says, he makes my feet like hinds' feet, able to stand firmly or make progress on the dangerous heights of testing and trouble.
It's amazing that sometimes you find yourself in this position and you can't figure out how you got there, but there you are. So is this little hind feet thing is the same thing that David's trying to tell you. He's saying, look, when you're just a little tiny animal, they're stuck in this mountainous area. And here's what happens to a lot of people. You don't set yourself on the word. Little people, little hind feet is setting yourself. And once you set yourself on something God said, you become secure in it.